At the very end of this week's Torah portion, after 20 long, difficult years, Jacob, has finally escaped the clutches of his swindler of a father-in-law, Lavan. He left without saying goodbye, gathered his wives and his children and his possessions, and took off. But Lavan finds out, summons up a posse, and he goes to hunt Yaakov down. God intercedes and tells Lavan in a dream, don't even say a word to him, not good or bad. And so Lavan's forced to abandon his plans to harm Yaakov, kidnap him, bring him back, or worse. So they enter into a treaty. Yaakov slaughters animals, and we're told that he invites his brothers to the feast. Who are his brothers? He's only got one brother. That's Esav. He's going to meet him again in next week's Torah portion. So Rashi, the commentator, tells us the Torah here is referring to, Yaakov here is referring to his friends who were with Lavan. And Rashi doesn't use the typical word for friends, which would be chaverav. He uses a much stronger phrase, ohavav, those who were beloved to Yaakov or who loved him. But what's going on? Beloved? Brothers? Friends? This is Lavan's posse. These are guys who had joined up with Lavan, relatives of his or employees or slaves or hangers-on, who had joined up with him to do Yaakov harm, to hunt him down. So what do you mean, ohavav, those who were beloved to him? Maybe the lesson here, what Yaakov's telling us, is that even if you've got the worst boss in the world, Lavan, like Yaakov points out to Lavan in their last meeting, you cheated me over and over again. You changed my wages 100 times during the 20 years that I worked for you, honestly. Even if you work for a boss like that, that's no excuse to take it out on your coworkers. You can still be nice to them, and you can be nice to the security guard in your building, and to the mail person, and to the FedEx person, and the cleaning staff. Yaakov apparently forged genuine relationships with all those other people, even though they were part of Lavan's posse, showing us that it's important, no matter the situation, to be nice to people. Which reminds me of a recent story. Earlier this year in the spring, I had a speaking engagement on a campus in Madison, Wisconsin. And I took along my 2 teenage sons. When we finished, we drove back to Milwaukee where we were staying. And when we got close to Milwaukee, one of my sons checked, and sure enough, the Milwaukee Bucks, the NBA, the basketball team in Milwaukee, had just finished their game. So he said to me, Dad, why don't you drop us off at the stadium? We'll see if we can find where the players' parking lot is, and maybe we can say hello, meet some of the players. I said, what are you talking about? You're in a foreign city. How are you going to figure out where to go? The players aren't going to stop to say hello. They said, come on, why not? I said, you know what? I'm about to study with the rabbi with whom I study in Israel over the phone. You got an hour. I'm going to pull up in front of the stadium, let you off, be back in an hour. An hour later, they're back, and they're all smiles. I say, yeah, how was it? You meet anybody? They said, well, most of the players, as they drove by, didn't really stop. A couple of them waved. One of them rolled his window down and said hello. It was very nice. But the whole time, we were waiting for one guy. I said, let me guess. Giannis. Giannis is the Milwaukee Bucks superstar. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name because it's practically unpronounceable. He, at the time, was the reigning NBA MVP, most valuable player. So they said, finally, at long last, the last car comes up the ramp from the players' parking lot. And it's Giannis. And it's just the 2 of us and 2 other guys, Bucks fans, and he blows right by us. I said, that's a shame. He didn't even wave. They said, wait. He must have seen us when he drove by because he stopped and he put his car in reverse and he rolled the window down and he was sitting there in his car talking to us. I said, get out of here. Giannis, the MVP, blew past you, saw you, put the car in reverse, rolled the window down, and you were schmoozing with him? They said, yes. Unbelievably nice guy. Now they're convinced that in the merit of his making their day and giving them a great story to tell their friends when they came home, that's why Giannis and his team, the Bucks, later that season won the NBA championship. Now I can't tell you that they're right, but I can't tell you that they're wrong. Don't ever let anybody tell you otherwise. The truth is, nice guys finish first.